Welcome everyone to the Cheshire County Sports Club. It's the National Women's Football League Division 1 playoffs today. We've just had a great game for the third place playoff between Leicester and Portsmouth. At Portsmouth won 27-21, and here we are. Is here the Div 1 final, and it's going to be between the Edinburgh Wolves and the Peterborough Royals, the aptly named Royals. There was a 2-minute silence earlier today for the death of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth. So we won't have a 2-minute silence here before this kickoff, as it was honoured earlier today. But we are looking forward to this final. The Edinburgh Wolves in their red and white kit, and the Peterborough Royals in their black and orange today. And the kickoff coin toss has taken place, and it's going to be the Peterborough Royals that will start with the ball in this 7-a-side American football. If you're new to women's American football, certainly in this format, they do play 11s format as well, but this is 7 versus 7, 70-yard field, no kickoff. The Royals will start from their 5-yard line, and here we go. Quarterback keeper to start this one off that right-hand side. 81 still in bounds, and the Royals having to drag her down. So that's Jade Heels that starts off the Royals account on first down. They've got 20 yards to go to get to that midfield point, and then they get a new set of downs. So a good pick up there. Bringing up second down for the Royals. Coming out with that tight formation, 3 offensive linemen, and then you've got the 4 skilled players tight in behind, and it will go to Jade Heels again. Same play, left-hand side. Rachel Moody, GB star, having to come over to make that play. But there's a flag down. You would expect some kind of hold. So that's against Layla Blake. And that'll be coming back for the Royals. Women's American football had such a fantastic year. We'll get into that a little bit as we talk about this game and as things progress, but let's keep our focus right now on these Royals. Heels again, tentatively looking for a hole, and she does find one. Squirts forward, still on her feet, difficult to bring down. Jade Heels with all the running early. Megan Reed finally gets her down. Difficult to locate her when they have so many offensive skill players all close together like that. You, as a defense, you have to wrestle your way through those initial blockers to find the runner. Same formation, different quarterback this time. Fabiola Kaiser, but that snap's gone over her head. She's in the end zone, trying to get out of her own way as the referee goes down. The Royals rallying. God, very close to a safety, that one. So Fabiola Kaiser, they start that one in shotgun, and the ball goes right over her head. Pushes the referee out of the way on the way. Manages to save her team. So some initial good running from Jade Heels, but it's going to bring up 4th down for these Royals, and that was just damage limitation exercise on that one. What can they do here? They got shotgun. Jade Heels to the quarterback's left-hand side. Who's he going to go to? It goes to Kaiser. She goes left-hand side and up the sideline, and that's a good pickup to get him out of trouble, but it will be a turnover on downs as they didn't make that midway point. So on their first drive, 4 and out. And the Wolves will take over from their 5. The early exchange goes to the Wolves, but maybe some nerves as well on offense with that wayward snap. Wolves now, one receiver to the top. Wing back in, running back in. Quarterback Riley Adamson now for the Wolves. Motion. Handoff to Danielle Dunlop. Oh, the ball's out, but not before she was out of bounds. That was Tanya Dales on the tackle, knocking the ball out, but no harm done. Danielle Dunlop, and the Wolves will retain possession. 2nd down. The Wolves, obviously familiar name to American football with that Premiership men's team, but the women's here in the Div 1 final. Handoff, right hand side, lots of room there. Nice tough running from Danielle Dunlop on that one, and she's shown some early pace. Getting closer to that midfield point. Layla Blake having to make the tackle again, so she's been busy early on. Riley Adamson in shotgun, taking a look. Motion. This will be an end around. Adamson goes out of block, but that's tracked down nicely. Tanya Dales on the tackle, chasing that runner down from behind. So the Wolves 4th and maybe 6, 7 to get to that midfield point. All on the ground so far. 2 halves of 20 minutes each in this format of play. First drive for the Wolves. Adamson in shotgun. Handoff up the middle, looking for that midpoint, but nothing doing. The Royals defense stand firm. Suzette Mutombo from a defensive line, standing that runner up and driving her back. So the early exchange, both defenses hold firm. Neither team able to get to that midpoint for a new set of downs. So the Royals back on offense. If you're just joining us, you missed the 3rd place playoff game between Leicester and Portsmouth. There's Portsmouth Dreadnoughts coming out winners in that one. Royals now, 2nd drive, handoff inside. Oh, there's some tough running down the sideline. As Tanya Dales trucks a Wolves defender and gets some additional yards. It was Ellis Lovett who was trying to make the tackle and got trucked by Dale. The Wolves do manage to get her out of bounds, but not before she picks up close to 10 yards. Familiar formation, 3 offensive linemen, 2 wing backs to their right-hand side. Oh, there's that wayward snap again. And this time it's not going to be picked up. It's a Royals player that has to dive on it. And that's twice now they've been caught out by that shotgun snap just going over the head of the quarterback. Jade Heels tried to field it, but it was the quick play of the Royals rallying team that had to jump on that ball to save any further disaster. 2 early mistakes from these Royals team. And it will take those yards that Tanya Dales ran tough for. It will take those off the field. Backed up now, these Royals. 3rd down. Play action. QB keeper left-hand side. Nice running up the sideline, still going, and they do get her out. Fabiola Kaiser showing some good speed, some nice misdirection on the handoff as well. So they have had effective running of the Royals early, but it's been these wayward snaps that have kept them in their own half. 4th down. Trying to get a fresh set of downs from this tricky run formation. Who's going to get it this time? It's going to be Dale's left-hand side, and that's a nice tackle from Kat Todorova. So Todorova with the tackle, turnover on downs. Edinburgh Wolves undefeated this season coming into this game, an 8-0 record in their division. Coming down from that Division 1 North for this National Women's Football League. Back to throw now, first time we've seen the throw from Riley Adamson, but that one's incomplete. Trying to get the ball to Emily Dienger. Second down after that incompletion. Peterborough Royals with a 7-1 record of their own. Coming up against these Wolves in the final. Adamson keeps this one. She's going to roll to her right-hand side. Picks up 5-7, still on her feet. Bundled out of bounds. Nice pick up there for her. Good effective running from Adamson on that down. Both these offenses making yards. Edinburgh beat Leicester 25-12 earlier to get into this final, the second game of the day for both of these teams, but they look fresh so far. Handoff this time, trying to get the edge, and she does find it, but there's a nice good rallying tackle. Georgia Bowen coming in from the DB spot to track the runner's hip and get her down. You can just see where the Wolves need to get to. That red cone's what you're looking at. That's the midfield point. Still about 15 or so yards to go to get there. What will Addison do here? Last chance to get to that midfield point. She flips it to her running back going right-hand side, and that's well defended. Lots of players out there in front of her. But Danielle Dunlop couldn't find the gap. And it's the defences that are holding firm. Signs of life from both offences. Looks like this is going to be an exciting one. Peterborough put up 37 points on Portsmouth earlier on today, winning that one 37-28 to get into this final game. Third drive now for Peterborough. They've had some troubles with that snap. So Jessica Guthrie does get a good snap off this time. That's a good run on first down from Jade Heels. Just push her out of bounds. 50 yards wide this field, which gives that little bit of extra space for these 7 players on each team. Have to get to that midfield point for a fresh set of downs in this format. No kickoffs, no kicking. You can either choose to go for 1 point or 2 points if you do get into that end zone. Straight to Heels this time with blocking out front. She cuts back against the grain, showing good speed. It's only the saving tackle from Emily Mullin to bring her down. So Jade Heels with a blistering run. Initially looked like it was going to the right-hand side, didn't it? But cuts back inside and finds the hole. Fresh setter down for these Royals. First time they've been in Wolves territory on their third drive of this first half, if you're just joining us. Welcome. It's the Div 1 final. Here go the Royals. Who's he going to go to this time? And again, a wayward snap. Picked up by Kaiser, and she goes straight to the ground. Nice pursuit. Oh, the woes continue on the snaps. It's Jessica Guthrie that's having trouble just getting that ball back to one of those two players. And you don't know who it's going to go to, but it's not supposed to, you know, confuse your centre. They should know who it's going to. And at the moment, it's been three of them that have gone straight up into mid-air. Difficult to field for these Royals. So they were in Edinburgh territory, now way back in their own territory, second down. Kaiser up the middle, and she will get to the midway point. So she'll get some of those lost yards back. But because of where this drive started, it's not going to be a fresh set of downs. It's third down. Still got to get to that end zone or they'll turn the ball over. Thank you for joining us here on the live stream, supporting women's American football. We're playing here from the Cheshire County Sports Club. If you are in that area, it is free for you to get in if you can get there in time to watch this one. If you're listening on the stream and watching, then we salute you as Kaiser goes back to put this one in the air, and it is caught, bobbled and caught. So nice concentration there from Layla Blake. And it's going to bring up fourth down, a bit deeper into Wolves territory. Tricky offense they run, these Royals. Who's he going to go to this time? It's Jade Heels, right-hand side. She makes some yards. She's looking to see whether there was a face mask on that, but no call. And the Wolves hold. But you have to feel it's only because of those face masks. Sorry, not those face masks. It's only because of those wayward snaps that the Royals doing themselves in at the moment with those snaps rather than the Wolves defense. The Royals offense certainly showing signs that they can score and score quickly as they did in that first game, putting 37 points up on the tough Portsmouth defense. But it's with the Wolves now, and in the hands of Riley Adamson at quarterback. Wing back in motion. Looks to pass, scrambling around is Adamson. She will sling it deep. Two Wolves players out there, but incomplete. It was Emily Mullin she was trying to get the ball to. Only a two-woman rush, but there was some pressure that came late in that one from the Royals defense, but Adamson had plenty of time. Just good defensive back coverage play from the Royals. Referee's just discussing this penalty. So interesting, the penalty's been declined. I think they mean 68, Millie Bolzer, that was downfield. There's no 66 on the on the turf. Adamson, right hand side. She has the option to pitch and she takes it. And that's still in bounds. Some nice tight running up the sideline. Mercy Just, Spanish nationality, playing for Edinburgh in this Div 1 final. Thank you if you're joining us on the live stream. We hope you're enjoying it as the sun shines bright down here on the Cheshire County Sports Club field. Had some great action all day. The earlier game was a cracker as well, with the Falcons coming back. Adamson this time. I think that's going to be on the snap. Looked like the ball was picked up and then put back down on the field. Yeah, they're going to call that on Amy Forrest rather than the centre. So that'll march the Wolves back a little. Danielle Dunlop on the run, right hand side, finds a little bit of a gap. That's a good tackle by Layla Blake again. She's made her impact early. Playing well on offense and defense. They're finding little sniffs of the gap at the Wolves, but so far it's been pretty solid defense from this Peterborough side. 4th down. More targets now for Adamson. She's going to go left-hand side and showed a beautiful arm on that clash of those two players, and I hope they're okay. Just saw that Royals leg get caught between as the falling receiver trying to go for that ball was Danielle Dunlop. She's still down on the field, and it looked like that Royals defender's leg just got trapped under Danielle's body. So we hope they're okay as these teams take a knee and both those women get checked out. For those of you that are new to the women's game, thanks for joining us. It's an exciting format, this 7-on-7, and it's been a great year for women's American football. We're all still immensely proud of what the ladies achieved. The GB ladies squad that went out to Finland and had that unbelievable, almost impossible victory over the Canadians to get them in the final, and then played so tenaciously in that first half against the Americans. We tied the game 14-14 against the mighty USA, did our GB squad. Eventual losers in that final, 42-14. But what a tournament, and what an amazing victory over the Canadians, and what a showing in that final. Women's American football, definitely one of the growth areas of this sport. Women's Contact League started back 10 years ago now, can you believe that, back in 2012, and was originally in a 5 versus 5 format. But continued to grow, initially called the Sapphire Series, but then more teams joined. And we just wish all the best to Jade Heels on that one, and to Danielle Dunlop, who clashed on that play. Jade Heels, key running back for the Royals, so we hope she's okay. And it did look like her leg got nastily caught under Danielle Dunlop's body as Danielle tried to pick up that reception. So after that contact, we will get back to the action. And after that incomplete pass, it's going to be the Royals that take over. And they'll have first down from their 5-yard line. They have to go 20 yards to get a fresh set of downs, and then they have some shots at the end zone. They'll be missing their star running back Jade Heels for this drive, I would imagine. Changing their formation now. It's going to go to Kaiser and be handed off. Well, no, it's Kaiser keeping it. And that's a great defensive play from number 20. Vicky Wironska. Track that QB down for a loss. So the Wolves defense playing well. Defensive battle so far, 0-0 here. That time they do give it up the middle. And it's Tanya Dales with the run. Obviously they're missing Jade Heels at the moment, so they have to go to their other running backs. Fabiola Kaiser managing the offense, 2 backs behind her. She's going to keep this one herself and go to her left-hand side. Again, Wironska on the tackle. Getting closer to these Royals, but they've not had any of those big bust-out plays that they had earlier on in the day. Wolves defense maintaining their discipline. Seem to have got those snap issues sorted out of the Royals. Some skilled players huddling together, all 4 of them, just deciding how this play's going to work out. Kaiser changing position. This time she'll hand it off. But that is well read by Vicky, who holds her up enough. Listening for that whistle, and there it is. Vicky Wironska, 3 plays on that drive to snuff it out. Neither of these offenses able to break down these tough defenses of these 2 Div 1 finalists. Both the Royals and the Wolves defenses playing well. That's difficult to do on a pitch. You only got 7 players. Cover all that ground. 50 yards of width to cover. Both defenses doing well. Offenses are making yards, but can't break the big ones. Adamson now for the Wolves as the whistles blow. Trying to hand that one off to Anka Davis. But this looks like it's going to be a false start. So had a couple of those now, the Wolves. This is their 4th drive in this first half. Still time left to get a score. Allison sends Amy Forrest in motion this time. But again, the flag comes in. Back-to-back flags. So back we go, the Wolves. Adamson, what can she do? She's going to have to go to the air. Now she's going to scramble to her left-hand side. She's got a blocker in front of her and uses that blocker well. Still down the sideline. Adamson busts one and gets an entourage all the way in for the touchdown. What a play by Riley Adamson. Initially looked like she was going to pass the ball, but then the turf just opened up in front of her. She had a nice little block on the way from her receiver out there. And the first blood goes to the Wolves in this Div 1 National Women's Final. And it's Adamson with a 60-yard scamper for the touchdown. Going for two. Option play. Oh, sorry, going for the one rather, and Adamson gets it in there. So 7-0 Wolves. So these defenses that have been so disciplined up to this point, but you kind of felt it was inevitable, these two good running teams, but in the end, surprising scamper from Riley Adamson of the Edinburgh Wolves. And that'll wake the Royals up themselves. No more mistakes from them, you would hope. They've got such a great offense themselves, putting 37 points up against Portsmouth in the game earlier in the day to get here. So we know they can score and score quickly. But we wonder if Jade Heels will return after that clash she had with Danielle Dunlop earlier on. And I don't see her back on the field. So they're having to go with what they've got, these Royals. Kaiser in the backfield, but it'll go to Layla Blake. And she'll truck her way forward for maybe 4 yards. Sorry, it's not Layla Blake, it's Tanya Dales on the run. Again, to Dales. Straight arming players. Tough runner to bring down, spinning out of tackles, spinning again. Finally, it's Ellis Lovett that gets Dales out of bounds, but not before she picks up good chunk yardage. Flag down, and the referee's talking about this. Quite a long way down the field from where the play started. Great atmosphere, lots of excitement in these national women's football leagues. To enjoy the women's game over the years, seen some great play from our GB's team, but also at club level. This is one of the fastest areas of growth in the American football game. And last weekend we obviously had the men's final weekend. I was lucky enough to speak to Peter Ackersley, who was also identifying the women's game as the area that they want to grow along with youth football. Oh, that's easy for you to say, ref. 3 penalties. They'll all offset, and we'll start again. But it's gonna wipe that great run from Tanya Dales off the board. So we'll see if they can rally. 7-0 down, these Royals, but their offense, just get that sense that they can bust one any time. So far they haven't been able to find the gaps and the daylight that they need. And the Wolves defense has been really nice and disciplined so far. Dale's back there. It's Jade Heels back in the game, and she's going to find some space to her left-hand side. So Jade Heels with about an 8-yard gain, which will bring up 3rd down. Good to see her back after that clash she had earlier. Both of those players, Danielle and Jade, both back in the game, which is good to see after that injury delay. So it's Kaiser and Jade Heels. Who will it go to? This time it goes to Heels. She's got Kaiser out there in front blocking for her. And that's a good way to fight off the block there. Emily Mullin coming off the block of Kaiser to get Jade out of bounds, but it is going to give them a fresh set of downs. So some good running from Jade Heels. That leg issue that she had in the clash with Dunlop doesn't seem to be bothering her. Good to see. And now you get a glimpse of what the Royals offense is capable of. This time it's Kaiser back to pass. She looks to her right-hand side, throws it deep and caught. What a great catch. 2 defenders out there. Beautifully lofted ball. Jessica Lydiard with the catch. So the Royals really picking up chunk plays now. They've certainly come to life after that score from Edinburgh. 2nd down, about 6 yards out from tying up this game, if they can get that extra point in as well. This time it's Jade Heels, right-hand side. Will she truck her way in? No, it's a nice tackle in the end. Emily Mullin coming in and laying the boom on Jade Heels. And that's tough to do on your goal line. Emily Mullin wearing that Great Britain helmet. And making a GB style tackle to deny Jade Heels the end zone. So the Royals taking a time out to think about this one on 3rd down. They only need a yard and a half maybe to get within 1 point of tying this game. If you're joining us, welcome. It's Carl Walkinshaw here with Onside Productions. On behalf of the British American Football Association, really happy to be with you to cover the National Women's Football League Div 1 final. Had a great game earlier on. Portsmouth won 27-21 against Leicester for the 3rd place in this division. And next week, we've got the Premiership action as well from the National Women's League. Looking forward to that, and hope you'll join us for that stream. And also, if you search around, you will also find Onside Productions covering the youth flag football tournaments from Manchester. So bringing you as much football as we can here at Onside on behalf of BAFA. Here come the Royals. They're a yard out to try and get close to time. It's going to go to Jade again. She looks up the middle. And yes, they're going to give her the score. Jade Heels coming back from that early knock she took. Gets into the end zone. And the Royals are on the board. And they're going to go for 1 to see if they can tie it. Great game so far. Kaiser and Heels back again to Jade Heels, looking to find the edge, and she does. Emily Mullins can't get to her, so Heels scores all 7 points on that one. And there it is, folks. Probably 3/4 of the way through the first. We have a tie game. These offenses really come to life in the last 2 series. Edinburgh with the big run from their quarterback, Riley Adamson. And Jade Heels with some big running of her own. And with some help from Tanya Dales. Tie game. Whew. Div 1 final. Edinburgh coming out for their 5th drive of this half. Motion from Forrest, but it'll be Adamson back to pass, in trouble, but she'll get to her feet again, and she is dangerous when she's scrambling out of the pocket. Big, rangy, strong runner is Adamson. So Riley Adamson down the left-hand side this time. It was Tanya Dales that had to run her out of bounds. Second down, but good chunk yardage again from Adamson. Familiar formation now, overloading that left-hand side. Here's motion from Forrest again. This time Forrest will get the pitch, left-hand side. Tries to cut back, but look at the tackling and pursuit there from Tanya Dales. Doing it both sides of the ball is Tanya. Dragging Forrest down awkwardly. The falls twisting backwards on that knee, so they're going to have a look at Forrest. We hope Amy's okay. It was a fair tackle from Tanya. It was just Forrest twisting awkwardly as she went to ground. So we want the medics to come out and have a look at this one. These two teams have been great all season. Edinburgh Wolves 8-0 coming into this game, and then obviously had the win earlier today against the tough Leicester side. They won that 25-12 to win their place in this final. And they won all 8 of their games. I mean, Northumberland Shield Maidens obviously couldn't play this season, but Edinburgh had some tussles with the East Kilbride Pirates and came out winners against them in their Div 1 North. And then for the Royals, they had a great season as well. Just one loss, which was against Leicester, who we saw earlier today. Leicester beat them 6-0, but that was the only loss that they had all season. They beat Leicester in an earlier match, 26-13. They beat Norwich 44-27 during the season. They put up 54 points against the Devils, and then they put up 64 points against Sandwell. So this team, the Peterborough Royals, can score and score a lot of points quickly, and we've got some glimpses of that during this first half. And at the moment, we're just checking whether we're at the half. We think we probably are. So we haven't seen a call from the referee on that one. So we'll stay with you. Hope you're enjoying the game. And it's 7-all. Wolves 7, Royals 7. We're going to take a 5-minute break for the half. And we will be straight back with you for the exciting resolution to this game. See you in a few minutes.
1, 2, 3.
Welcome back to this beautifully poised Division 1 National Women's Football League final between the Edinburgh Wolves and the Peterborough Royals. Half-time kind of crept up on us there, but we're back, and both these teams just getting their offenses going towards the end of that first half. The Wolves coming out with Riley Adamson, QB for the Wolves, with an amazing run down the left-hand side to get the Wolves on the board, and that woke the Royals offense up. And it was Jade Heels that finally got the ball in from a yard out. So they've had the half-time talk. They're ready to go for the final half of action, and everything to play for both teams. Exactly the game we would have wanted coming into the final. Two closely matched teams, good defensive outfits and offenses that can score points and score points quick. Here we go. Wolves' first drive of the second half. It's a handoff to the left-hand side. That's going to pick up 4 or 5 yards. Ellis Lovett on the run. To open their account on their first drive. Five drives by Edinburgh in the first half, just that one score to show for it. 4 drives for Peterborough with their 1 score. Got an injury there to Suzette Montumbo, who's just being helped off the field. Bit of a clash there on that play. Looks like she's got some sort of lower body issues, limping as she comes off the field, so we hope she's okay. Who are you rooting for in the second half? Royals or Wolves? Both these teams have been great all season long. Edinburgh unbeaten, Royals just with that 1 loss to Leicester. And if you missed the game earlier today, for the 3rd place position in this Division 1. It was the Portsmouth Dreadnoughts that won out over the Leicester Falcons, beating them 27-21 as we get back to this first drive for the Wolves. Lovett in the backfield. Adamson looking for a gap. She will pitch to Lovett, and they will pick up 4 yards between them. Pretty well defended by the Royals defence. Layla Blake, who's been busy, coming over from a linebacker spot to get Lovett out of bounds. This game taking place in Chester here at the Cheshire County Sports Club. And it's been a good venue for the day. Sun's still shining here. Wolves on 3rd down. This time they'll hand it. And that's a good piece of running that time from Big Anchor Davis. Trucking and fighting away across midfield for a fresh set of downs for the Wolves. 1st down Wolves on their opening drive. Just changing it up. They got the weapons of Adamson, Lovett, but they've also got the size of Anchor Davis and showing good speed as well. Adamson sends Lovett wide. She's going to drop to pass. She's going to go left-hand side into double coverage. Flag down. Good coverage out there from Jessica Lydiard, who had a catch of her own on offense earlier on. Just see whether this was some sort of interference on the line. Just getting a decision from the Royal sideline as to what they want to do with this. Now that's twice they've declined those ineligible receivers downfield. Edinburgh offensive line just getting ahead of themselves. All right, now we've got another whistle. No flag on the field, just looking at the spot of the ball, I think, and just want to get that box changed to 2nd down. So the Wolves, after that run from Anchor Davis into Royals territory, this time we're going to hand it to Lovett, left-hand side, and she's still fighting. Takes 3 defenders to get her down. Picks up maybe 4. Third down, trying to get into that end zone. Riley Adamson's been dangerous when she's been scrambling around looking for a receiver. She's got good size, good athletic ability, but she's also got an arm. Haven't really been able to connect with those receivers downfield as yet. About 15 yards out. Motion. Gonna hand it inside this time. Danielle. She's trucking. Ball is out. And that looks like a turnover. I think the refs are going to point this Royals' way. And they do. So the Royals with the big turnover, just as the Wolves have momentum on that. And it was Danielle Dunlop on the run. And she's disappointed with herself. Ball gets punched out. She thought her knee was down, but I don't think it was. So great play by the Royals defence to turn the ball over just as the Wolves were creeping ever closer to that goal line. The Royals defence coming up with a big play to defend their end zone and maintain the status quo in this one, 7-7. And they'll come out for their first drive of the second half. This time just Jade Heels back, changed formation slightly, still a crowded offensive line. Heels difficult again with the snap, but she does well to pick it up. Trucks her way forward for maybe 5. Again, having a few problems on these snaps from shotgun. Just low and to her left on that one. Difficult to handle. Go up. And that's 61 going early on that one. Benita Grant with the false start. So that'll wipe Heels yards off the board. Have to start again, but it'll be second down this time from the same position. What can the Royals do here? They've shifted it up. Kaiser's not on the field. It's just Jade Heels there in the backfield by herself. She takes a good snap this time off to her right-hand side behind that big offensive line. Met and sits Emily Mullin with another good tackle, but not before Jade Heels picks up maybe 10. Stood her up, didn't she, Mullin? Lots of big hits going in here. Another injury timeout. This time I think they're taking a look at Sarah Jane Gill. Getting the water on as well. It's a perfect day for American football here in this September evening. We hope you're enjoying the game with us. Remember, more football action coming up next weekend with the Premier Finals in the National Women's Football League. And we'll be joining you from Onside Productions to bring you all the action from those games as well. It's obviously not just 7-on-7 that these women's players play. As Caitlin Sherratt comes off the field under her own steam, so that's good to see. We also get the chance to play 11s. Obviously at GB level they do play 11-a-side football, and that was one of the big surprises, wasn't it, how well many of these female athletes transitioned from 7-a-side football to playing 11s. And there's full hopes to extend the Women's League to a full 11 versus 11 in the future. But back to this drive. Third down for the Royals, looking for that halfway marker. Jade Heels again, right-hand side. And she's going to be maybe 4 yards short, but she has a fourth down to try and pick that up. So that play where they're overloading the right-hand side and just getting Jade Heels in behind, really working effectively for these Royals. Difficult to stop. Two-woman defensive line, and then they're going to have to rally to the ball. Again, same play. Heels with some great blocking. Look at the hole. Bursts right through Heels all the way. 30 yards to the end zone. And the Royals take the lead for the first time today off that great, well-designed play. We will see, because it looks like this one will come back. Maybe a hold at that point of attack, and I think that's what it's going to be. Oh, that would be disappointing for Jade Heels. Sometimes those holes open up so big like that because there's someone holding on to you. Whew. There you go, 2 holds on that one. It was Sarah Jane Gill that they'd finally get the penalty on. I thought when he said 61 holding declined, I thought, surely not, that would be a catastrophic error to decline the penalty, but there was a second penalty right behind it. So it is Sarah Jane Gill who gets caught for holding, and that'll wipe that score off the board. So hold your horses. 7-7 still. Still coming out with that big offensive line. Look at those 3 blockers just waiting to take on their women as Jade Heels again, right hand sides and out of bounds. And she's not going to make the midway point. So that penalty so costly because it means that the Edinburgh Wolves get a turnover on downs. And will that come back to haunt rather these Royals getting in the end zone and having that pulled back. So the Wolves had that turnover on their last drive to shut them down. Look at the time, just 2 rushes. Now she takes off, does Adamson, down the right-hand side. No one in front of her. I mean, that's another great run from Adamson and another rallying tackle from Tanya Dales to get her out of bounds. But they're going to have to find a way to get to Adamson quicker than that. Oh, this Royals defense, or she will just get those chunk yardage. Really gifted runner. First down into Royals territory, still 7-7. This time it's a handoff, Danielle up the middle. Danielle Dunlop, who lost the ball on that last drive. Although she would argue her knee was down. It was definitely a close call. And another good ripping run through the heart of that Royals defense. Second down to try and get into that end zone. Wolves looking good. This is Danielle again. Oh, what a great block going in there. Oh. You can see the tough running from Dunlop running up the middle there. Even closer to that end zone. 1.5 yards, maybe 2 yards out. Following that big run from Riley Adamson to get him into Royals territory, and then off the back of the tough running of Danielle Dunlop. Dunlop at the bottom of your screen this time. It's Adamson. She's going to pitch it, and the pitch goes wayward, and there's a knee down, and that's where that play will end. So that was Ellis Lovett on the pitch. Now the flags come in. Lovett had no choice. She had to go take a knee because the pitch just didn't come into her hands in the way she would want. We'll let the referee sort out this one. Did see a little bit of afterwards. Just trying to calm the players down. Lovett's knee was definitely down, so couldn't progress the ball. Obviously, all of these plays now critical in this National Women's Final for Division 1. Referee's going over to the Edinburgh Wolves sideline to get a decision. Speaking to head coach Callum Wright. Had a great season, these Edinburgh Wolves. DC Lindsay Llewellyn, OC Catriona McDougall. And they have a couple of sideline assistants with Martin Blues and Senia Wironska. I think that was to inform Coach Wright of the call on the field. We're going to have to go back to get a decision. Well, here we go. Flag has not been called for us. Taken off the field. Edinburgh 4th down now, about 12 yards out. They're going to hand it. The Royals can't locate the runner, but they do finally bring her down, but not before she gets to about 1 yard out. So it's Ellis Lovett who they try and get into the end zone, but they can't. And again, the Royals defense hold firm, and the Royals will take over on downs. So the first drive for Edinburgh ended in a fumble, and the second drive ended in a turnover on downs. Both these teams so close to the end zone. In fact, the Royals got into the end zone in their first drive, but it was called back on a hold. Then it was the Edinburgh Wolves' turn, but they can't get in, 1 yard short. This time it's Kaiser for the Royals rather, on first down to her right-hand side. And a penalty flag comes in again. Looks like it might be a face mask on that one. We'll see. Inadvertent or not, they're going to call it. It's a 7-yard gain for Kaiser, but it could be more. Fabiola Kaiser, starting quarterback for the Royals. But in this offense, difficult sometimes to know who's going to get the ball. So that's been called against Emily Mullin, and that'll be a big 15-yarder. And that's going to be an automatic first down, and a chance for the Royals, a really good chance now, because they've only got to get maybe 6 yards to get another fresh set of downs. So Kaiser now right-hand side, and she gets dragged down by the shirt, picks up maybe 2 yards. Good defending on that play by the Wolves, just to follow her through that gap and hold on for dear life, which they do. Just a yard or two on that play. 4 yards to go to get to that midway point and get yourself a fresh set of downs. Can't believe this game's still 7-7. Been lots of offensive action, but equally these defenses have been equal to it when they needed to be. Jade Heels right up the gut. She's going to bust another one. Will Meeks get to her? Yes, she does. So Emily Mullin pulls her down. Now, are they going to have her for a horse collar on that? I don't know. Is that? I mean, her hands were around that area, but you've got to get your hands actually into the shoulder pads themselves. And that'll be what they're discussing, unless I've missed something somewhere else on the field. Wow, offsetting penalties. They do call Emily Mullin, who was the tackler on that. Initially for a face mask, but I didn't see that, maybe a high tackle. But they also call Jessica Guthrie for the hold. Those plays will offset. So second down Still 4 yards out, same play, heels. But this time, big 75 makes a change direction, but heels takes advantage of it, tracks back to her left-hand side. It was Megan Reid that forced her to switch direction, but she found space over to that left-hand side. And it was Emily Mullin that had to come over to the sideline to usher her out of bounds. So the Royals into Wolves territory, first down, driving for the lead. They've been in already, but it got called back on a hold. This overloaded offensive line's been really powerful for them, and they go that way again. Heels picks up another 5, inching ever closer. And a Wolves player down on that one. Bear in mind, this is the second game that all these women on the field have played. It takes a toll on your body, does this American football. Well into the second half now. Any score from this team could win out and you could be crowned Div 1 champions. But the Edinburgh Wolves defense will have something to say about that. Second down. Ten yards out. Heels again, following Kaiser. Right-hand side, squirts through a gap. Mullins does enough to trip her up. Edinburgh trying to get behind their tough Edinburgh Wolves defensive unit. Cat Toller over, Anchor Davis on that line. Megan Reid up on the line to take on these blockers. They're going to run it up the gut, and that looks very close. They're going to say she's in, and it's a score for Jade Heels. Second of the day for Heels. On the second drive of this second half, Heels goes in from a yard out to take the Royals to 13-0 with a chance at the extra point. Heels with that injury earlier on in the first half. She's come back from that, and she's played ever so well behind that big offensive line. This time it's Kaiser and the Heels, both of them. We don't know who the snap will go to. It'll go to Heels, following Kaiser, right-hand side, looking for the corner. But she'll cut it back inside, and she'll get the extra point. 14-7. Time for the Wolves to come back. And they've been so close. On that previous drive, they had the turnover on downs at the 1 yard line. And the drive before that, they were driving, but it was a Danielle Dunlop controversial fumble that turned the ball back over to the Royals in this tightly contested competition between these two. So the Wolves have to put something together now. Time is ticking, and it won't stop in this 20-minute half. We're well into the half now. What can Riley Adamson do? Will she take to her feet again? This time she hands it off. No, she doesn't. She keeps it herself. Look out, there goes Adamson with the stiff arm. There's nobody there. Riley Adamson. What a run. We will check the flags. No flags, and the Wolves tie it up again. Wow, that's how quick Riley Adamson can get into the end zone. She is the danger woman. Just the fake on the left-hand side. She keeps the ball herself on the run option. Bursts from the pack, and she's so strong and so fast. So hard to bring an athlete down of that kind of caliber. They will look to tie it up with this extra point. Critical down. She's looking for that pitch play again. She'll keep it herself. Stretching, stretching. But no, she's not going to get in. So the Royals on that critical play, and it was a great saving tackle. I'm pretty sure it was Tanya Dales and Layla Blake that joined each other to deny Riley Adamson the end zone on that extra point. So it will remain 14-13 Royals. Adamson with her second touchdown of the day, but couldn't convert. The Royals and Heels did convert. So Heels for the Royals with 2 touchdowns. Adamson from the Wolves with 2 touchdowns. And these two women battling it out. And at the moment, Heels has just got the edge, but not without the help from her teammates. Kaiser back there at quarterback for the Royals now. This one's actually going to be a low snap. Nowhere to go. They've had some trouble with the snaps, and they don't want any more of those. Layla Blake couldn't field that low snap, and Megan Reed was right there to shut her down. Dangerous now. Got to watch the safety on this. We had 3 safeties in our earlier game. All of which went to Portsmouth. So nervy times for the Royals, holding on to that slim 1-point lead. You know the Wolves are going to bring some pressure. Four players, and they do bring pressure. And Kaiser has to get rid of it, and that's a great completion to get him out of trouble. Kaiser off her back foot with Wolves bearing down on her, gets the ball to Tanya Dales. The pressure came from Kat Todorova, but Kaiser did really well to get the ball out of her own end zone. And that was a critical play. Kaiser and Heels now, back in the backfield. Who will it go to? This time it's Heels, right-hand side, looking for the edge. She gets a little bit of daylight, squirts forward for 3. Running clock now of these Royals. The Wolves have to find an answer to these plays. Try and either get a turnover or at least stop them from getting to midfield. Here comes Kaiser, looking at that wrist coach as she comes into the huddle. Taking their time, coming to that line of scrimmage. Burning that clock. This time it's to Kaiser, she'll keep it herself, right-hand side. Nice tackle that time. Chased down from behind to deny Kaiser from reaching that midway point, and it's going to be a turnover on downs. And that was Mercy Just for the Edinburgh Wolves that made that critical tackle. So the Wolves get another chance. Maybe 2 drives left for this Wolves team. 2 opportunities to get back into the end zone. Try and steal this one. It's been back and forth this one. The Wolves took an early lead through the running of Adamson. The Royals came straight back with the running of Heels from 1 yard out. A couple of times both offenses found themselves very close but couldn't get in. Finally, it was Heels that got the go-ahead score for the Royals and converted on the extra point. But Riley Adamson came straight back with a great run of her own, but couldn't convert on the two-pointer. Some critical plays being made by the Royals when they were needed most. Kaiser with that throw out of her own end zone. But the Wolves have the ball. Enough time on the clock, certainly to put one drive together, maybe two. And that danger woman, Riley Adamson, still in the game, still looking strong. But she puts Dunlop in motion, and she will hand to Dunlop. But that's another great play. Oh, Dunlop. Well, she come to their head whether Dunlop was going to break free. Tanya Dales, 27, who's had an excellent game on offense and defense, just swings Dunlop around enough to enable Lindsay Holding and others to come in and get Dunlop out of bounds. Second down. Adamson, all the time in the world, but she's going to throw that one to the turf. Nice coverage there from Lindsay Holding. Adamson not completed a pass, but whenever she goes, completed a few passes, but when she goes back to pass, there's always that threat that she will run. So the pass coverage has been good by the Royals. Thank you all for joining us on the live stream, or indeed if you're listening to the live stream and you're down at the game. Sun still shining here, although you can see the long shadows. Adamson looking, rolling. Now she sets her feet and puts one deep, and that's caught! And that is gonna be Danielle Dunlop for the score. The talented running back. She's been running all day long, but she gets out of the backfield on that one, and that was a tremendous play from Adamson. Again, there's an injury on the field. There's no flags, though. That score will stand. So, the Wolves roar right back into this one. 19-14, they take the lead. They couldn't convert on that touchdown that they scored earlier, but they take the advantage of the drive, and on their fourth drive of this second half, they get another score. This time it's Danielle Dunlop with the touchdown. So 2 to Adamson, 1 to Dunlop. What a beautiful throw and catch that was. It was Adamson's ability to buy time as she rolled to her left, edging closer and closer to the sideline. And Dunlop had all the time she needed just to get that 2-yard separation from her defensive back and make her way all the way to the end zone. Wow, this one's slowly going back and forth. You wouldn't count the Royals out yet, would you? Just tending to a player on the field. As you watch the Royals sideline, and OC Catriona McDougall, who's done a great job with this team, just talking to her offense, congratulating them on the touchdown. These Wolves don't know how to lose. 8-0 on the season. See those battles they had with East Kilbride during the season, and then getting here today, defeating the tough Leicester Falcons, who actually beat Peterborough during the season themselves, but couldn't beat Edinburgh. Edinburgh taking them 25-12 in the earlier game, and now they've come in here and put 19 points up against the Royals. And they're going to be trying for that extra point to extend their lead to 6 if they can get in. talked a bit about the growth of this women's game. Been going 10 years now, started off as the Sapphire Series back in 2012. And it was extended to a two-tier system with a Div 1 and Div 2 in 2016, but players just keep getting involved. The women's game, one of the big growth areas. There's that defensive back, Georgia Bowen, that was injured. Took a knock, and the medics will check her out on the sideline. So, Danielle Dunlop's touchdown is going to give the opportunity for the Wolves to take the score to 20. They're going to go for one. Adamson on the field. Emily Dinger down here at the bottom of your screen. Danielle Dunlop in there as well. Now they're going to motion Ellis Lovett, and it's that pitch play again. Up, and can Adamson escape? She can. So just sheer athletic ability from Adamson and sheer tenacity. She had 3 Royals defenders around her, and none of them could bring her down. Adamson converts on the 2 points. Sorry, on the 1 point. And it's now 20 to the Wolves, and the Royals on 14 points, but they can win it. There's time left, certainly. This will be their 4th drive coming out, so the clock is ticking, but you would imagine there's enough time for them to at least have one more shot at this. Now the Wolves made the most of their shot. What can the Royals do? They have very dangerous players of their own. They have Jade Heels. They have Kaiser. They have options. Who will it go to? Heels again. She is the go-to girl when they need something done quickly. Picks up 5. 2nd down. Well, we've had 2 cracking games, haven't we, today? Looked like the Portsmouth game earlier was going to be a blowout, but Leicester came right back through the crazy play of Doherty, who scored 3 touchdowns. And the women today that have really shined have been Adamson and Heel in this game. This one is going to be handed off to Jessica Lydiard, who finds some space. Lydiard down the sideline. It's just a saving tackle. Wow. What a great design play, because they were looking for Heel, but they give it to Lydiard coming the other way. She gets all the way down to the 5-yard line. So this one really is going back and forth, isn't it? These offenses finding space when they need it most. Some great play calling. Tom Hatton, the head coach for these Peterborough Royals, so well organised, such a good offense that they have. Heels this time, looking for the right-hand edge, and she's going to be very close. She shoves her way in through the tackle of Emily Mullin for the touchdown. Mullin just couldn't hold her up on that goal line. Jessica Hills from 6-yard out. Big clash with Mullin right on the goal line, and just had enough momentum to push her way into the end zone. And we have a tie game. What more does this game have to offer? It was the big run of Lydiard that set Heels up. Can they go in for 2? It's the same play as Lydiard. She's all by herself in the end zone, and the Royals take the lead. Lydiard with the extra point to take the score to 21 to the Royals, 20. Wow. The Royals take the score just before the 2-minute warning. And Lydiard takes it in for the extra point, and the Wolves now have to go all the way down 65 yards to get into this end zone. Adamson looking for the play that will take them closer. She finds Danielle Dunlop in open space. Watch out, Danielle's gonna juke. Oh, what a crushing tackle. And guess who has to make the tackle? Jade Heels comes up to deliver the blow to Dunlop. Dunlop going to her right, then back to her left, and Heels just meets her square in the middle of the pitch. How well has Jade Heels played today? But that's the danger. Adamson to Dunlop. They've connected a couple of times. These Wolves won't be intimidated. Catriona McDougall. There they are, the girls. What a season they've had. And they could put the ice on the cake right here if they can get into the end zone, but they've got to get past the Peterborough Royals. And they also don't want to leave too much time on the clock because the Royals can score and score quick. Anything could happen here. Royals defense late on the field that time, but Adamson gives them a break. Adamson now rolling back, Dunlop to her right, but she's going to go over the middle of the field, trying to get the ball to Ellis Lovett. Got good coverage there from Tonya Dales. Good pressure as well that time from the Peterborough Royals defense. Second down in Royals territory, driving for the win. Less than 2 minutes to go, running out of time. This time, D'Anger in motion. They're going to pitch it to D'Anger. She looks for the left-hand side. She will cut back to her right. She goes down. And it's a tackle from Lindsay Holding again, helped out by Kerry Scott. You can see the distance to that end zone now. The Wolves will need to move quick. 15 yards out. Third down, Adamson pitches to Danielle Dunlop, right-hand side, and she will find the end zone. Wow, the Wolves with less than 2 minutes drive down the field. And what started out as a defensive battle has just turned into a huge shootout. Great blocking there from the Wolves as Dunlop takes that in on their 5th drive of this half. They find the end zone. 3 touchdowns in the last 3 drives. And Dunlop with their 2nd of the day. Going for the extra point now. They had it to Lovett. And Ellis Lovett will go in to make the score. 27 Wolves, 21 Royals. Now then, there can't be much time on the clock. We've had the 2-minute warning. What have the Royals got left? The last 3 drives from the Wolves. Adamson, touchdown. Dunlop, touchdown. Dunlop, touchdown. And for the Royals as well. Heels with 2 touchdowns of her own right. There she is, number 81. She is the player to watch. But it'll be Kaiser that starts. They're going to hand this one to Lilliard again. Can they get the same break? This time the Wolves rally. Lilliard still bringing up, still picking up a lot of yards on that initial run on 1st down. Wow. The Royals, whew, we can take a breath. Totally breathless action here at the Cheshire County Sports Club in this Women's Div 1 final. Both these teams so exciting to watch. Superstars on both sides. Jade Heels stand out for the Royals. But you can't take your eyes off Riley Adamson and Danielle Dunlop for the Wolves. Good defense going in as well. Here we go. Last chances now for the Royals as Heels. What a tackle that is. That's Vicky Veronska coming over for the Wolves to deny Heels any more yards. In fact, pushes her back too. They have to get to halfway now and they're running out of time, these Royals. The Wolves just would not be denied. Driving down the field for the go-ahead score. But what a ding-dong battle it's been. This one will go to Kaiser. She's going to drop back for the pass, lofting that, and that is incomplete. In and out of the hands of Syra Akhtar. The defending there from Vicky Veronska again. Fourth down, last chance for these Royals. Clock's against them. Downs are against them. This is it. What can the Royals do here? They overload that right-hand side. Kaiser. It will go to Kaiser, but it's Lilliard coming out of the pack. Will she find the halfway point? She will. She's down the sideline. Oh, tackle out of bounds by Emily Mullin. And Lilliard's just about had it. And so have I here in the commentary booth. Lilliard with an amazing run down the sideline, but what a saving tackle from Emily Mullin, who just takes the angle to get her out. Where are they going to mark that one? It looks like it's probably going to be maybe the 3-yard line. So this effectively is like an extra point. First down Royals. The Wolves backed up now. That Lilliard play has worked so well for this Royals offense. Heels, Kaiser in the backfield. Oh, and the snap. It's gone wayward. Kaiser tries to pick it up, and she does. But Megan Reid is right there to drag her down. What a disaster. They're running out of time. They just down it to think this play through, the Royals. Now, is there any time left? What a crazy play. Just as it looked like the Royals might creep in. They're talking about the down marker here, but the clock also a factor for these Royals. We're hearing 4 seconds on the clock, just 4 seconds for the Royals to do something here. This is the last gasp attempt on 3rd down for these Royals. Will they go back to that Lilliard play? Or will they let Jade Heels try and work some of her magic? They go back to Lilliard. Heels with 2 blocks. Lilliard down the sideline. Who will get there? Ah, Mullins! Emily Mullin again with the big hit out of bounds. And Lilliard just couldn't beat Mullin on the tackle. What a great tackle from Mullin to win the game. And the Edinburgh Wolves are your National Women's Division 1 Football League champions. Congratulations to the Edinburgh Wolves. Wow, what a game. That was an absolute cracker. Back and forth it went. Each drive, these two teams just taking shots at each other. but it's the Edinburgh Wolves behind the legs of Riley Adamson from a QB position and the Danielle Dunlop with those 4 touchdowns between them that win out for the Wolves. But what a fantastic play, what a fantastic couple of plays on defense from Emily Mullin to ensure that Lilliard, who was just running the Wolves defense ragged on those end around plays, couldn't get into the end zone. An absolutely amazing finish to this day. We had a great game earlier, close game between Portsmouth and Leicester, and Portsmouth running out 27-21 to take the 3rd place. But in terms of the rankings today, it's going to be Edinburgh that come out top, Peterborough 2nd, and Portsmouth 3rd. And what a fantastic showcase for women's American football we have had in Division 1. Superstars on both of these teams. Just a shout out to the Peterborough Royals as well. Their quarterback, Fabiola Kaiser, played a great game. Tanya Dales, some fantastic runs from her. But the real star of that team, Jade Heels, number 81. Amazing scores from her. And of course, Lilliard as well, number 44 on those end arounds towards the end of the game. What an exciting final that was. We hope you've enjoyed it here on Onside Productions. We've enjoyed bringing you both of these games. It's been a beautiful day here at the Cheshire County Sports Club. Now, don't forget, next weekend we will have live stream of the Premier action as well, and we look forward to you joining us there. Or if you can get down live to see the games, then please do get down to Cheshire County Sports Club for Premiership football. Or why not do both? Go see the game and listen to Onside Productions bring you the live stream as well. We're going to call it a day here from Cheshire County Sports Club with the Edinburgh Wolves. There they are, the Division 1 National Women's Football League champions. Thank you ever so much for joining us here on Onside. We'll say goodbye for now, and we'll see you next weekend for more women's American football action. Bye for now.